remind everybody, please state your affiliation with your news agency before you ask a question. And now it's my distinct pleasure to introduce one of the best coaches in America, Coach Petrino, and his two players, obviously, Martinez Rankin and Des Harris. No, wrong sheet. Wrong sheet. Well, okay. I'm sitting here looking at Lamar Jackson going, he's a Heisman Trophy winner, Ricky. You should at least be able to get his name right. And Chucky Williams, I'm sorry, gentlemen. I apologize for that. Looking at the wrong thing. Coach, will you make a few opening remarks, then we'll take a few questions. Thank you.
Well, it's a pleasure to be here, and certainly we thank Rick Catlett for inviting us to come to the Tax Slayer Bowl here in Jacksonville. It's kind of great for me to be back here. I spent 3 really good years here when I coached for the Jaguars, and you know, our family is very familiar with everything, so we've had a great time. I also like to thank John Eller. He's been our host and done an awesome job. Our players really have had a great experience. They've been able to experience different things outside of football. We've had great facilities to practice at and very good facilities for our meetings. So the week has went well. I like the way we've practiced. I think we've done a nice job of it. What you try to do at bowl games is balance the focus on your preparation for the game and enjoying the experience, and certainly I think we've been able to do that here, so I'm excited about that. We look forward to playing a very good Mississippi State team. They've got very good players. They're fast, they're physical. We feel like it's a great challenge for us. I do really like the way we finished the season off. We had a great November. Our offense was clicking and executing and scoring points. Our defense was doing a great job of sacking the quarterback and causing turnovers and holding our opponents' points down. So I really felt like as the year went on, we've got better. We fought through adversity, which is something that hopefully the lesson helps all these young men when they're done playing football. So I feel like it's been a great year for us, and certainly we'd like to finish it off with a victory here Saturday. So with that, we'll just open up for questions.
Bobby, we saw this a little bit last night in a couple of the ball games, but why do you think historically ball games can often are so high scoring? What do you think goes on in that dynamic, maybe preparation, but you know, just you see so many 35, 31 games this time of year. Any theories?
Yeah, no, not really. You know, I don't really watch any of the other games. You know, as a coach, what we do is get up in the morning, we watch video, we go through all our preparation, and usually when I get home at night, everyone gets mad at me because I want to turn the channel and not watch the games. So I really don't have an answer for you. I do know that it's a trend now in college football that points, there's a lot more points being scored. I think some of it is the tempo. You get more plays and, you know, the ability to hit big plays. It just seems like throughout the game of football, you're seeing more points.
Question.
Coach Rachel Orchlinski, WLBT in Jackson, Mississippi. Just wondering what your take is on facing a team that's in a little bit of a different and sticky situation, having an interim head coach as opposed to having their set head coach. How do you approach that? What makes it different for your team?
Yeah, I mean, we have to prepare on what we see from video, and obviously we try to prepare for the players that they have and their talents and knowing what we're going to go up against. Scheme-wise is kind of up in the air a little bit because they're having 2 new play callers on offense and defense. So you always wonder, you know, how that's actually going to play out. But our preparation's been on basically what they've done throughout the year and how they've utilized their players and what we believe they think, you know, what we think they'll do because of what they believe they can do. And obviously we're going to have to make some adjustments during the game. I think that's always something in bowl games that you have to do, is get over on the sideline after the first couple of series and really understand what it is that you're seeing and what you believe you'll face and be able to make those adjustments on the sideline. And I feel good about that because we do have experience and our players have been able to do that throughout the year.
Yeah. Jody Dillman, Cardinal Authority. Lamar, you talked after the Kentucky game about still making improvement. Obviously, in your game. What have you done since then till now, and how have your preparations been? Have they been any different from previous years?
Well, I'll say, yeah, just trying to better myself as a player, and the people who are around me, my teammates, the young guys, even Jawan, he's learning a lot, just not from me, but my coach, Nick Petrino, he's doing a wonderful job with us, and he's just helping us out, for this bowl game.
Raise your hand if you have a question. Gary Smith.
Yeah, Gary Smith from the Times-G. Lamar, a lot of players who are juniors who plan on coming out and seniors have elected not to play in bowl games. Can you revisit a little bit about why you made the decision you made? Was it because you want that one more experience with your teammates? You want to prove yourself one more time on a stage like this? Talk a little bit about what went into that.
Well, I just want to sit down with my family and make my decision. But the reason, I chose to just playing it because my teammates, they shot out throughout the year. They had injuries. They came back in the game trying to help us out, to make us come out with victories in big games, and they didn't have to. And I just felt I owed that to them.
Lindsay Goff with Spectrum News. For any of you guys, how has preparation this year compared to last year? Last year you guys ended on a couple of losses versus this year ending up on a couple of wins. Did that positive momentum help you guys out in bowl prep?
I'll say, yeah, it did. It boosted our ego. We ready. We're ready to play.
Chucky.
Yeah, I believe the same thing. Yeah, we really just ready. Prepared way harder than last year, so we should go into this game ready.
Down front on the right.
Logan Lowry, Northeast Mississippi Daily Journal. Lamar, just your impressions of Mississippi State's defense, what you've seen from them on film so far.
Like Coach said, they're flying around to the ball. They big, physical, nice defensive line. It's gonna be a good game.
Chucky, Holden Kerwicki, WHAS in Louisville. Could you speak to how much the defense is going to miss Jair and James, in this game?
We're going to miss them a lot. Those guys are very valuable to us. But we got a lot of young guys that's also stepping up, taking over the roles that, they've been playing all year. And we're going to need them coming into this game. But those guys that are out, we will miss them. But like I said, we got a lot of young guys that are ready to step up and make plays.
Down front on the right.
Michael McCann, Cardinal Authority. Chucky, for you, Mississippi State has a new quarterback, lost theirs, in their regular season finale. How's that changed the defense's approach and preparing for what they might see?
It hasn't changed our approach at all. We was preparing the same for all quarterbacks. The scheme is real similar. Nothing's changed. And, like I said, we just preparing like it was the regular starting quarterback that was there before. So.
Second row on the left.
Morning, Bobby. Thanks for taking the time. We're just curious to get your perspective on, as a team, as a program for you, what is at stake with a win in this game this weekend?
There's not a lot at stake except for the fact that we want to win on a very high note. I always feel like that this is the last game for the seniors, and they've given a lot to our program. They're a group that is, I always tell them, responsible for our stadium expansion and getting the crowd and the boosters behind us, and they certainly have been. It's the first group that we recruited. And also the first group that we inherited and added to some, junior college and transfer guys. So it's a special group to me, and we certainly want to go out with a win. And for our guys coming back, I've always felt like the bowl games are the start of next season. They certainly, how you finish, who you got coming back, usually determine, the preseason rankings and where you are there. So certainly this is a game that we want to compete and find a way to win.
And then I think at the NCAA level, I think there's maybe a rule proposal that to have players be able to play in the first 4 games or something like that without earning a redshirt year. What are your thoughts on a rule like that, and how would that have impacted your team this year?
Yeah, my understanding of it is that it's you can have players play in 4 games, not just the first 4 games. That's kind of what the rule is right now. If you play in the first half, so many percent of the first half of the season, you get a medical, and you get injured, you get a medical red shirt. But the proposal, I believe, is to allow players to play in 4 games, and if they don't play in more than that, then that count. You can use that as a red shirt year for them. I think it'd be a great rule. I think the more games that we play and how competitive football is right now, that staying healthy and having everybody available for games is hard. And as you get later in the year, freshmen are prepared to play. They've been through it. They've gotten better. It certainly would help on special teams. It'd be a perfect time to be able to have guys play is this bowl game, right now. So I would be in favor of the rule.
And then lastly, your reaction to Jair and James' decisions to not play in this game, and did you expect that?
No, I didn't expect it, but it's what it is right now in college football. You got guys that feel like that they need to move on and get ready for the preparation for the combine and the draft, and I support them. They've given a lot to our program. James was here for really 5 years. He was one of the guys that we inherited that had redshirted. He graduated and got his degree, which is something that we were really wanted to see happen. And Jair gave 3 really good years to our football program, and they prepared well and they played hard.
Lamar, have you ever been, first of all, into Everbank Field or been to a game there? And just talk about your approach, or does it excite you to play in an NFL stadium? I know a couple years ago you had a pretty good game in the one down in Tennessee.
Well, no, I haven't. This is my first time ever playing in the stadium, and I think I played in one before, but it don't matter. But I'm looking forward because I'm back home, and I can't wait to play for our Louisville fans.
Any other questions? Yes, ma'am.
Coach Petrino, was it somewhat easier to prepare for this defense, being that it was a Grantham defense and you guys are obviously familiar with each other?
Well, you see things show up on video that you know, and you understand what they called, and what thoughts are and what they're trying to do. But he's no longer there. Now we got a different guy that's going to call the defense, and Ron is a very good football coach. At one time the defense coordinator at the University of Louisville and did a great job there. I actually coached against him when he was the head coach at Eastern Michigan. So obviously he'll probably put some type of flavor of his on the defense, and certainly the way he calls the game. And like I said, I think it's going to be real important that we're able to adjust and get to the sideline and understand exactly what they're trying to do.
Down front.
Lauren James, Between Classes Magazine, out of Tampa. Coach Petrino, with Florida being a hotbed for recruits, how does playing in the Tax Slayer Bowl help your program out?
Yeah, it's always great to come to Florida and play in a bowl game. First and foremost for the players on our team, because we have a lot of Florida guys on our team, and their families get to come up and see them. They get to spend time during the week with them. So that's always a great thing, and we're always going to recruit the state of Florida. With this early signing day, we had a very good year in state this year. High school football, Pop Warner football, everything they do here is really amazing. How much emphasis there is in the game of football. It's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Some states aren't like that, and Florida is. So we're always going to try to recruit here as hard as we possibly can.
Also for Chucky and Lamar, with both your college careers coming to a conclusion, how does it feel playing in your home state of Florida, and what have you done to take it all in?
Well, it feels great being back in Florida for the most part. And what I've been doing to take it all in, just embracing every moment, having fun with my teammates. I see them as brothers to me, so, just taking it all in, enjoying myself, and really just physically and mentally getting ready for this game Saturday.
Just like Chuck said, I'm just cherishing the moment with my teammates and my coaching staff. And, it feel good to play it back at home, but, I wasn't looking forward to it being cold here. I just left the cold. But, yeah, Florida bipolar weather, so, yeah.
Last question.
Bobby, could you just talk about Lamar? I know you've answered this question a ton of times, but what Lamar has done since last year and winning the Heisman and coming back and the numbers he put up, this year, and how special this season really has been.
Yeah, I mean, he's had a great season. The way he's played the game, the way he's prepared for the game. The one thing that Lamar does every week is come to practice with a smile on his face and a great attitude, and really does work as hard as you possibly can on getting better every day. One of the most coachable young men I've had the pleasure to coach. He's always wanting to work on something. He's a great listener, and he really strives for excellence in practice, and I think that's the thing that carries over to the other players on our team, is they see here's a young man that won the Heisman Trophy and is the best player in the United States, and he comes to practice and works as hard as you possibly can and sprints in the end zone. And I got after him the other day a little bit, and I was really just kidding around, saying, "Come on, sprint! You got to go full speed." And he had this huge smile on his face because he knew I was kidding around, because he was going as fast as you could go. So it's just been a real pleasure and a real standard for the other players on our team on how hard you can work and the fact that you do go to practice to get better every day.
Coach, thank you for bringing your team down. We appreciate it very much. Good luck to all of you tomorrow, and we'll see you at noon tomorrow. Thank you.
Thanks, Rick.
Appreciate it.